Good morning. You are listening to UpReach, a morning devotional presented by the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee, to encourage you as you face the opportunities and challenges of today. Let's begin this day together with some inspiring thoughts from God's holy word. And Jacob arose that night, and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons, and crossed over the ford of Jabbok. He took them, sent them over the brook, and sent over what he had. Then Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of day. Now when he saw that he did not prevail against him, he touched the socket of his hip, and the socket of Jacob's hip was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, "Let me go, for the day breaks." But he said, "I will not let you go, unless you bless me." So he said to him, "What is your name?" He said, "Jacob." And he said, "Your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men, and have prevailed." Genesis chapter 32, verses 22 through 28. At this moment in the Bible, all that Jacob has lived for is coming down to one event, his reunion with his brother Esau. More than 20 years have passed since Jacob manipulated his father's blessing away from his brother Esau. During these years, God has been changing Jacob from a controller and manipulator to a man who is learning to trust God. He is now ready to meet Esau. However, he is fearful that Esau might take revenge on him and his family for his past sin, so he sends a gift ahead while he retreats and seeks mercy from God. As an angel appears to Jacob, he realizes the only hope he has is in God. Only if God blesses him will he survive this ordeal. In the past, Jacob would have sought to solve his problem his way. Now he wants only God's way. He wants him so badly that he will not let go of the angel. He is striving with God, but it is the right kind of striving. Jacob is striving to have God's blessing on his life. He is seeking God with all his being. Now when he saw that he did not prevail against him, he touched the socket of his hip, and the socket of Jacob's hip was out of joint as he wrestled with him. Genesis chapter 32, verse 25. The only way to overcome the strong will of this man is to physically immobilize him. The angel touches the socket of Jacob's hip. It is painful. It breaks him. This is the final stage of removing the old nature from Jacob. It is the place of complete brokenness and surrender. No longer will Jacob walk in his own strength. He will now have to lean on a cane, symbolic of his leaning on God alone. It is the final act from God in Jacob's life that is celebrated with a new name, Israel. No longer will he strive with God or man. The process is now complete. God can now bless this man abundantly. He gives him favor with Esau and restores their broken relationship. What about us today? What must God do in our lives to remove the controlling and manipulative nature that so often is part of a believer's life? Perhaps it will require a time of immobilizing, loss of a job, loss of income, loss of health, or even loss of a close relationship. These are his methods of preparation. Our new nature will not be complete until we are able to stop striving with God through our own self-efforts. If God is taking you through this process today, be encouraged. It is because of the inheritance He has prepared for you. However, the inheritance can only be received when God brings you to a place of total dependence on Him. This has been UpReach, a presentation of the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee. I am Kyle Bolton, the pulpit minister at Church Street, and I would like to personally invite you to come and share times of Bible study and worship with us each week. We meet every Sunday at 9 o'clock a.m. for our morning worship, followed by our Sunday school for all ages at 10:15 a.m. Then we meet again at 6 o'clock p.m. for our evening worship. We also have a midweek meeting for devotion and Bible study on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. I hope to see you there. Have a blessed day.